It has been precisely 45 years since the first Game & Watch has been released. Where the heck is the Game & Watch gallery from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct? Why didn't we see that? You think that we would have seen it in the Direct before Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, considering that April 25th is the date that the Game & Watch is first released. And now it's 2 months later, and we don't have a Game & Watch gallery that has every single Game & Watch. You want to know how much Game & Watches cost nowadays? It's almost $100 per unique Game & Watch game. And Nintendo is doing something smart by bringing over really expensive games like Chibi Robo, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and the Pokemon titles to Nintendo Switch Online, which is thoughtful because they didn't even raise the price. That's making the expansion pass all the more worth it. But I don't think a Game & Watch Switch Online is going to work. Most likely, they're going to need to release a Game & Watch Classics to celebrate over 45 years of Game & Watch games. Before I go any more in-depth into this conversation, please hit the like button if you'll enjoy the video. Please hit the subscribe button. I'll have more videos like this. Please hit the notification bell, but only if you're new. I don't try to force anyone to subscribe twice, mostly because you can't. Please enjoy the video. The March 27th Direct featured stuff like the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 and 3 HD remakes, Shadow Labyrinth, more information on Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon Legends ZA, virtual game cards, Nintendo Today, and a couple of other games that aren't as major that I haven't mentioned. And I'm not sure anyone really cares about the Game & Watches, so that's why they weren't really showcased. And like I said before, they're not really worth much to add to the Nintendo Switch Online. They're not even worth much to add to the basic Switch Online. I mean, we got the Game & Watch Gallery 3, I believe, on Game Boy. Game & Watch Gallery 1, 2, and 3 were released on Game Boy originally, and we got like Game & Watch Gallery 3 on the Virtual Console Game Boy on Nintendo Switch Online. Where's Game & Watch Gallery 4 for GBA on Switch Online? I haven't been on Switch Online in a long time, so if I can't keep up with the times, can you blame me? So I don't know if the Game & Watch galleries have been added to the GBA and Game Boy Virtual Console on Switch Online. But technically, the DS had Game & Watch Collection 1 and 2. Can't we just get a Game & Watch Museum on Nintendo Switch 2 for like 30 or 40 bucks, like NES Champions, which was 30 bucks? Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? I think it's more likely to be 40 bucks instead of 30, considering that Nintendo has broken the next spending boundary and broke their reputation in like 2 seconds with Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza going up to 70 and 80 bucks. Donkey Kong Bonanza is priced good, but not Mario Kart World, but that's just me. NES World Championship is like 30 bucks, so having a Game & Watch collection for 40 bucks would probably be a good move on Nintendo's end. Then we can finally see some guys do a ranking video of every single Game & Watch game, because they're expensive as heck. Heck, make it a $50 game. I'd gladly pay 50 bucks just to have every Game & Watch game. It'd surely outweigh the price compared to paying hundreds of dollars for games that are barely worth playing anymore. But keep in mind that the ball and the hammer Game & Watch are also included in the Mario and Legend of Zelda Game & Watch. Maybe we'll get a Kirby Game & Watch and it'll have like Judge or something. Who flippin' knows? Yeah, actually, I think a Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dream Land 2 Game & Watch that includes a Game & Watch game would probably be good for Kirby's next anniversary, but that's not the point right now. I'd love to see Nintendo actually release a couple more Game & Watch for more anniversaries, because we have Mario and Legend of Zelda. Where's the Kirby Game & Watch? Where's the Pokemon Mini Redux? I'd like to be able to play Pokemon Red/Blue, Gold and Silver, Pokemon Yellow. Having Pokemon Game & Watches as basically Pokemon Mini replacements in today's age would be pretty goofy. And just add the Pokemon games to Switch Online. I don't care. I want to be able to delete save data, but now I've gone off track again. The point is that there's near 60 Game & Watch games that cost hundreds of dollars each nowadays. Come to think of it, there's actually 60 in total if you count Luigi's Hammer Toss and the Super Mario World Game & Watch, which are actual watches. Game & Watch? Heck, if you wanted to, you could even count the Mario and Legend of Zelda Game & Watches as Game & Watches, and add them all to a Game & Watch gallery, or even a game... Yeah, having a Game & Watch gallery, or even a Game & Watch museum for Switch 2 that costs like 40 or 50 bucks. I'm sure a lot of people would like that, considering ka-ching, $100. That way some people can start doing ranked videos for the Game & Watch games. Also, apparently there's Game & Watches for Snoopy. I'm a Peanuts fan myself, so seeing this blows my mind. Most likely I'm going to one day find every single Peanuts video game. Highly doubt I will though. But hey, the Game & Watch galleries got virtual consoles on the 3DS and Wii U, and considering the DS Game & Watch collections are there, there's a very good chance that we could be getting a Game & Watch museum on Switch 2, seeing how it's technically the first handhelds ever released before even the Game Boy. A Switch Online Virtual Console won't work even if it's on the basic. And heck, something I'd even like to see for a Game & Watch museum is to add different skins and faces like we can do with the Mario and Link Game & Watches. Imagine being able to add Kirby or Yoshi's face to the Vermin, or Flagman, or Manhole, or Judge, or pretty much anything else that doesn't have a character of its own. The exceptions being games that already have Donkey Kong and Mario in them, and we even have a couple of Mickey Mouse and Snoopy, stuff like that. Heck, we could even get Tetris Jr. considering that prototypes only existed and it was never released to the public. I doubt that we'll get something like that in a Game & Watch museum. But if we don't get a proper direct this month, or even August, then most likely we're going to be getting a proper direct in September. Game & Watch Museum. That's one of the games that's going to be on my list for until then. So I'm going to leave the video here because I really don't have anything else to talk about. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell. I'll see you all next time. Later.